What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Solo Sessions. I think we're on episode number 5. Thank y'all for sticking with me. I know it's been a couple weeks since I did a recording, but the reason being is because um, we were dealing with a little loss there, and I needed to kind of get my mind right and kind of come on board to have a talk about it. I had to get through it myself. It was surprising, to say the least, the way I felt and how I behaved. But it's it was challenging. It was something brand new, something different, I would say, uh, and allowing myself to feel what I feel. Now, it wasn't a person, even though animals, you could say animals are people too. It was my daughter's first pet, first actual pet. She had a guinea pig. We had him for 5 years. Called him Theo, uh, and he was a cool dude, really cool dude. When my wife first got him, I was very adamant of wanting to keep him just because the guinea pig, he's a rodent. I'm just the type of dad, just the type of guy that knowing that we have a pet like that in the house just doesn't seem normal. Okay. I grew up thinking that way. I didn't, it's not like as if I'm against guinea pigs. It's just it wasn't the norm for me to grow up like that, and then for my daughter to have one and to want one and to get one and take care of it, you know, didn't seem right. Didn't seem yeah, it just didn't seem right in my head. It just didn't. I'll be honest, just didn't seem right. But she wanted it. My wife wanted to give it to her, and why not? Our job as parents is to give our children, something that we didn't have. So I had to look at it that way and say, you know what, I didn't have it as a kid. Maybe this will help with responsibility. Maybe, um, I mean, we already had two dogs as it was. We lost one of the dogs, but they were both brother and sister, both pups, both pit bulls. But the sister that we got was the runt of the litter, and she had an enzyme in her liver. So according to the vet, there was really no medication or surgery that really could fix her. It was just, adamant of giving her a, giving her a good life, a comfort life, which I think we accomplished that. She was our baby. She was our baby. She was definitely the wife's comfort dog. Every time the wife was feeling, monthly schedule, she would always come up and just lay in bed with her all the time. That was the dog. Lay in bed, chillax. She kept the boy in check when the boy was getting obviously too crazy and too playful and all over the place. You know, she would be that one, like just sit down, be quiet type of deal. It was fun. So when we lost her, it was a big impact on my wife for sure. But it didn't, the kids they felt it. Just wasn't necessarily a big thing just because we had no dog, and you know it was sad. Um, but at that time, it was very easy level to move forward. Um, but with this one, it was very interesting to kind of witness the impact on something that she cared about and that she lost. This was her first pet. This was her first responsibility of maintaining and taking care of. You know, yeah, there were times as a dad, you got to remind your kid, hey, you wash him up, clean his cage. But for the most part, he that dude was spoiled. He was spoiled. Snacks, he loved his celery. He loved carrots. That dude just was everywhere. He was cool. There's one time, the one time he we just leave his cage open just to see for sure, if he'll actually come out of his cage and walk around the house or whatnot. But I know for a fact, I had came home, I checked on him. He did. didn't look like he had any hay in his cage, so it looked like he was hungry because you hear him chirping, and then you hear him. But I say chirp, but he was making a beeping sound, like squeaking type of sound, calling out for me, and then he would always bite his cage, like like not like tick 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 type of deal, like he would bite on it, make a noise, and it'll be his sign to say, hey, I'm hungry, feed me. So I passed by his cage. My daughter's in the room, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, hey, I think he's hungry. Did you check on him? But she's talking to the wife, and they're chatting it up. We're conversating. Next thing you know it, we look on the floor, and there's Theo. He's just chilling there. He looks up at us, eyes forward, looks dead at us, and then all of a sudden walks away, walks back into the room, and like stands by where the cage is because it's on a table. So how he got down from there, don't know. From the cage to the table that it's on to the floor, it's literally at least 2 feet. So how he got down, I have no clue. And he just walks back over there, and it was like as if he was saying, he's looking at me and he's like, "Don't y'all just hear me? I'm calling you guys. I'm hungry. Feed me." And then he just walks back. It was the coolest thing I ever saw in my life. Coolest thing. And for him to walk back to the cage was freaking awesome. Like, he could have walked anywhere else. He could have walked down the stairs. He could have walked to the bathroom. He could have walked somewhere else. But he walks back to his room where his cage is and waits for us, like just sits there and waits for us. It's freaking hilarious. But getting the phone call from my wife and just, hearing her like, come back home, that Theo's passing. Like, my kids had just got off of school, and, obviously they go check on him and make sure he's good. And they don't hear nothing from him. He's just breathing slowly. He was just laying there in the cage. And they took him out. They were holding him. And yeah, just passed. I get home. I go check on him. They're all in the bedroom. Just, they have him wrapped up in a towel. And my daughter's just holding on to him. We all gathered in a little circle around him, and, we just console within each other. But it hurts as a dad because it's like, you tell yourself that it's just a guinea pig. You can get another one. It's a little small little pet. They obviously, in our mind, maturity says, they've always had a 5-year lifespan. So 5, give or take, right? But it's natural. It's just generally part of life. But to see her down and out, and to feel this sadness, it hurts you as the father, because it's like, first, you don't want your baby to ever hurt like that, and 2, you want to do something that you can to change that. But our job also is to help them understand. Help them understand, the why. Help them understand the process, and help them get there to the point of understanding and acceptance. So, we get the little guy, and I'm like, you know what? I told my daughter, I'm like, let's have a little small burial. Let's bury him in the backyard, dig a little something, and it's, put him here. That way he's here with us, and you can still go visit him, leave a little celery things for him if you like on the floor, make a little something for him. Let me stand there for a little bit, say a few kind words, let all the kids take their turns, and yeah, get back to the room and start cleaning up type of stuff. Put his things to the side. Told my daughter, let's not mess with his cage yet. Let's give it to the weekend, and then I'll help you take care of it. So the next day, I'm pulling up home, and I see her walk out into the backyard, and I see her drop some celery sticks for him. And she just stands there for like a second or two and walks back to the bedroom. She was really quiet. She was really quiet for a couple of days. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. That's the hard part of life of going through. Because then it reminds you of all the times that reminds you at any time that you had to lose or lost something. There's always a difference of what we've lost, who we lost in our lives. There's no comparison to when maybe you lost a pet compared to you lost a sibling, a loved one. But it did. Consoling my wife and making sure she's okay. But also too, I think the hard part with parents that comes with us is it puts us back in the place where at the time when we lost someone that we cared about, what were we feeling? And then you have these flashbacks, and then you have all these feelings circle back into yourself, and it's like you thought you forgot, or generally you thought you just you thought you didn't think you would feel like that again, type of deal. But then something like that happens and you feel it again. You go back to the dark hole. You go back to the erratic thinking. It becomes scary for a while of just thinking of your thoughts. Sometimes it becomes scary. But the good thing about that is that helps you is the maturity in you and the growth that we've able to have. So that way we have the strength to keep moving forward. We have the strength to understand. We have the strength to accept, keep it going, and keep it going. That's one thing you would always want to tell your kids of that. When like that happens, just stay strong. It hurts. It does hurt now, but we will be okay. We can have fun another day. Today is the day we feel. Today we accept what's going on. So that way tomorrow we can start fresh. So it's difficult. Difficult becoming a parent, man. I'll tell you that right now. It's crazy. And that's just the oldest. We got to deal with the other ones. That's just the oldest one. Then you got to deal with the older kids. You got a bunch of little ones, and got gotta navigate their feelings too. It's crazy. But I think we did good. I think we did good for that, for that day. But I also think we did good for, the process, and we'll be all right. We'll be all right. It's been, like I said, it's been a couple weeks now. She looks good. She's eating. That didn't bother her that bad. It she does get sad when it comes up about him, but she also finds something happy about it. She giggles and remembers when she would just take him out of the cage and just bring him over by me while I'm either laying down or sitting down on my game chair, just chilling on the computer, and she would just put him on my back or put him on my shoulder. And I just don't like rodents. Maybe fearful, maybe, I don't know, skittish, I don't know, but I just don't like it. Don't like their feet on me like that. It drives me nuts. But she had fun. And now she's talking about, getting another one. But now we're thinking, let's get a girl this time. Do something different. So we might. Pretty sure we might do that. It's fun. It's easy. But that's how we dealt with it. We'll see what happens when another one comes around. Take it from there. Well, if you guys have some thoughts and theories for me, or some opinions, some guidance, please shoot me a message. And we appreciate you guys. Definitely do appreciate you guys. Have yourself a good day. Take it easy. See you until next time.